This is going to be the reverse lunge. So lunges seem to be something that are very difficult for a lot of people. So if you're not comfortable with it at first, that's perfectly fine. You'll get better at it. It's kind of like your deadlift piece there too. If you need something to hang on to, get something that's fairly close to you, because you don't want to be reaching all the way out to the side, but just something where you can kind of get a little bit of balance. That might be couch, a chair, bench, countertop, whatever you happen to have. Now, a really good way to kind of get a feeling to begin with where you might be steadying your lunge is to start from the ground. So if you come from the ground and you start off and you've got your front leg with the knee directly over that ankle, your back leg is going to be also bent at a 90 degree, and you want your knees hip distance apart. So we don't want to have that leg crisscrossing over the back. We uncurl the back toe, and from here we come back up. And for most of us, that's going to be a fairly good position from there. So that back heel will come back up. We're just going to dip down. Think of driving that back knee down towards the floor. You do not need to touch it. And it doesn't have to be real deep to begin with. Now, if that bothers your knee, of course, when I talk, I can't keep my balance. If that bothers your knee, you can keep that a little bit more shallow. You might also elevate that front leg. But a lot of times what I see is when they go sinking forward and coming onto the toe of the front leg, we actually want to keep that foot down and pressing through the heel. So as we think of driving this knee down, we push through that heel in the midfoot to bring the other leg back up from there, back into a standing position. Now, if you want to add weights with that again to increase the difficulty on those, you can always add the range of motion. Some things that are super simple to do with that are simply by adding a knee drive. You can also add weights. So I'm going to show you with the weights first, then I will show you a knee drive and a kick. That's probably as far as you're going to really want to mess with it for this particular program. So from here, I'm going to show you from the front. So in this position, we're going to roll those shoulders back. We're just keeping the dumbbells at our sides. You can also do one dumbbell at a time, but that's going to, again, increase difficulty as far as your balance goes. So we're just going to step that foot back. And again, trying to keep in line with the hips. We're going to drive that leg back. And if that feels like it's not quite far enough, you can always inch that front leg forward. So from here, if I wish, I can come back up, or I can just come tap that toe in, coming from the lunge and tapping that toe in. So that's going to add a little more difficulty as well. I can stay in that stationary position. I can move that toe up. I can take the knee, or I can also throw a kick. So coming from here, I can kick the leg up, coming back and down, and kick the leg up. But I want to make sure that I go at a pace where I can reset each time. And we always do one to the other, so you want to make sure and do the other.